Perfect. All right, well, thank you everybody for attending. We hope this will be an informational session for you to share more about the Future Leaders in Motion program. I'm going to grab the screen here. Let me know if you can see the opening slide, Kathy.
We can.
Perfect. Things are working. Technology is our friend today. So yeah, let's get into it. So as Kathy mentioned, if you do have any issues while we're going through the presentation, reach out to her or Chris Houston, and they'll try to get you square. So far, I think we've got everybody here that was supposed to be here, so we're just going to march forward. So I'll just introduce myself really quickly. As Kathy said, I'm Bill Haley. I'm the past president of the FPDA, and really passionate about the Future Leaders in Motion program. It's really important to me. I think it's a really unique value that FPDA adds that other associations aren't doing. So I think the information we'll share today will show you that it's something really special. So I hope you'll invest in it. I graduated from MSOE 25 years ago with an electrical engineering degree and actually kind of stumbled my way into fluid power, as so many people do. I didn't know I wanted to go into hydraulics and you know, machine heavy equipment, but I found I loved it and quickly realized that I was not going to leave this industry. It's so fun. Love problem solving, and I love the people I've met and worked with over the years. Many of the faces on this call I'm good friends with, and really more than colleagues. I've enjoyed spending my life with them. So I'm currently the director of business development. I get to do a lot of economic research and trends, and then serving on FPDA, which has been a real pleasure. So Future Leaders in Motion. This is our mission. The FLM program is designed to develop and enhance the leadership skills of the next generation of professionals who will guide and lead their companies, the industry, and the FPDA. Pretty tall order. FPDA, if you're not familiar with it, is really a collection of large and small distributors and manufacturers in the fluid power industry. One of the challenges FPDA leadership has had over the years has been to create quality educational products that appeal to a large majority of members. It's been pretty tough to create sales or product training because every company just has a different set of products or sales expertise. So it's been tough to find something that's universally useful. Leadership, however, is something that's really universal. Everybody needs good leaders in their company. The FLM program has been really successful and in high demand, frankly, because of the qualities of a great leader are equally valuable to companies of any size. So the leadership skills required to lead a large team or a small team are the same. A great leader can inspire a team of engineers designing power units or motivate a sales team to exceed sales goals. The Future Leaders in Motion program itself has been designed to benefit anyone in a position of leadership. You don't need to have direct reports to benefit from the program. You can be, a sole contributor in a specialized role. Maybe you're somebody who's worked in a small company or even a branch location for a while, and you've been living in the same fishbowl for years, and it would be great to get outside perspective from your organization. And honestly, as an owner or leader of a company considering to send somebody to this program, that's a huge selling point for you to consider, is that I have somebody on my team needs something to do with themselves. Maybe there's no immediate advancement potential for them, but I can invest in them in this leadership development program, let them work with other colleagues from across the industry and have that shared experience. It's really great for networking, and I really do think there's value in those situations. Anyone who's ever received formal leadership training is going to, sorry, let me start over. Anyone who's never received formal leadership training would benefit from this program, okay? It's so common that many managers and supervisors get promoted just because they're the best widget guy or because they've been there the longest, not necessarily because they're a great leader of people, right? So if you know somebody on your team or you personally are in that position where you've never had formal leadership training, this is an outstanding opportunity for you to consider. The good news is that leadership skills can be learned. As a lifelong Packers fan, I have to plug in a good Vince Lombardi quote here. Vince famously said that leaders are not born, they are made, and it's so true. Just like anything, it requires hard work to be a good leader. You have to be deliberate, conscious about it, humble about your failures as a person and as a leader so that you can focus on those things and improve, and really owe it to your team to become better and to be supportive for them. If you're already in a position of leadership, FLM can help you improve. If you aspire to be a leader someday, FLM can help you prepare. FLM can meet you where you are in your career and help you improve as a leader. So there's really a future full of opportunities. FLM as a program really consists of about 13 months of content, about 60 hours of class time, and over that time of instruction, every participant is going to work with a mentor and a professional coach. This is really unique. You get assigned a specific mentor from the industry, from another company, another part of the country, so that you don't have any sort of competition issues. So for instance, if I am a salesman in the southeast of the United States, you might get paired with an executive salesman from California or from the West Coast someplace far away, maybe in a little bit different industry. You know, maybe we take somebody, if you're a really mobile heavy company, we'll try to put you with an industrial company just so you get a little bit diverse experience. And that tends to create a really great atmosphere for trust. The mentorship component is really special because you've got this trusted advisor to help you make decisions. You can confide in them to share, things you're struggling with in your career. For instance, maybe you have a presentation coming up that you don't want to stub your toe in front of your colleagues. You can present to your mentor, have them give you feedback. It works really well. On the other end, as a mentor, you gain a lot from the program too. You gain a lot from being a mentor of someone else because it gives you perspective of the younger generation, what's important to them, maybe some of the things you forgot about being earlier in your career. It helps refresh that in your memory. So it's really valuable to both sides. It's going to enhance your natural leadership abilities, help you gain a better understanding of the fluid power industry. We've had a few folks from accounting and human resources come through the program, and that just really helps them get exposure to what are hydraulics, what are pneumatics, what is it that my company is actually doing. As I'm, moving paperwork, I get a better understanding of what's going on behind the scenes. And of course, the networking part of it. The calendar itself is packed full of stuff, quite frankly. This year's program will kick off in October at the Industry Summit in Greenville. So people who attend the program are going to actually go to the Industry Summit in person. Good to be there for about 3-4 days to experience all that conference has to offer, some amazing speakers. I'll talk more about it in a moment. But after that, then you get to spend time in team and individual coaching. I'm going to talk about Don in a moment, but we have a really brilliant executive coach that we work with. And then you're going to have sessions on, monthly sessions focusing on one area of leadership. Have a couple months of that, and then in March of 2026, there's another on-site event. It's the University of Innovative Distribution. That's in Indianapolis. And really, it's a phenomenal world-class program that exposes you. It's like college in a week. It takes you and puts you through all these courses in just a couple of days. It's really intense, drink from a fire hose kind of training. Great stuff, great presenters. We're going to have some testimonials here just about how great that program is in a moment. Have a couple more months of content, and then we wrap everything up at the next summit, which is next October, location to be announced in the near future. So since the majority of FPDA member companies have less than 50 employees, just think about that. You could spend your whole career at one of these companies with really just a handful of people. We think that mentorship really gives you this chance to meet new people in this industry, find peers that are doing the same job as you, and share best practices. It's really powerful. I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity to talk about just that mentorship component of things. We're going to assign every participant their own mentor, and there's a real bond that develops. And Marvin, I don't know, would you be willing to talk for a few seconds about mentorship and your experience in that so far?
Yeah, I'd love to share kind of what my thoughts on it have been. So for those of you that don't know, I'm participating in the FLM program currently, and it started whenever it first started. I didn't really know what to expect, but as we got into it, it really latched onto it because it really just showed me there's a path. If you're willing to dive into it for personal growth and professional growth within the program. So, a big part of it is the mentorship program. And I just wanted to talk about a couple things that, I've taken taken from it so far, and what has been important to me, in the last few months. The main thing that I've really struggled with up until the last couple years was time management and time blocking. I'm in outside sales, so I am somewhat guilty of shiny object syndrome, and I had a very difficult time in the past blocking out specific time for things such as prospecting, personal growth, the boring things that no one wants to do. So my mentor has really leaned into me, and every discussion we have, whichever way it goes, at the end of it, I've noticed he's always asking me, are you still blocking out time, at the beginning of the end of your week to do these things that we've been talking about. So I've really taken that to heart, and put a pretty big emphasis on that personally, and I've noticed a significant change in my day-to-day and week-to-week schedule, and have found more balance professionally and personally. Another thing that I've really learned through the mentorship program is the importance of data when communicating to executive and leadership teams. Especially when trying to build something like a business case. It's very dangerous to speak in hypotheticals, and it's a lot easier to speak in absolutes when you have the data present to present. So that's something that I've really taken away from the program as well, the mentorship part of it specifically. And then I was also challenged within it to take on a project that would benefit my company and help me understand my business cycle more clearly. So that's another part of it that you can really take from it. If you really apply yourself to the mentorship program, you will be challenged by your mentor, and it's really up to you if you want to take it seriously, or if you just want to make it another part of your day, or just do it because your boss told you to join the program. And the last thing that I wrote down that the mentorship um, program has really helped me with, and that is the importance of taking on a mentee in the future. It's very important, and it's part of my core to teach and nurture the future. I'm pretty young myself, but I realize, at some point in time, in order for me to grow, my company to grow, and the people around me to grow, I have to be able to pass on this knowledge that I've gained over years. So it's important to not only have a mentor, but to have a mentee as well, in my opinion, for both personal and professional growth again. So that's what I've taken away from it so far, and that's my 2 cents for what it's worth. But the program is something that you can make the most out of, or the least out of, depending on your individual experience and desire.
I really appreciate that. Well said, Martin. And I do think that that challenging of each other is one of the really unique things that comes out of a mentorship pairing. So if you don't have one inside your own company, even if you do, having an outside mentor is really valuable. I want to talk about coaching for a moment too, because that's the other really amazing part of this program. So I mentioned we work with Donna Gilligan. That's her and her shiny face there presenting to the current class. She's such a wonderful person and really well experienced. Years and years of experience. Bringing coaches up. First thing she does is she has everybody do a DISC assessment. If maybe you've been through that, process in the past, maybe haven't, but it's so valuable to just learn how we all are wired differently. We all have different learning styles. We all have different patterns of speech, motivations, etc. So just learning to understand and recognize the differences in how each of us perceives information and wants to be approached helps you be more effective in dealing with a diverse team. There are people on your team that don't want to be hit with all sorts of data. There are others that require it, and you just need to know what situation you're in. It'll make you more effective and more more approachable as a leader. During the course of the FLM program, you're going to have one-on-one sessions with her as well as group sessions. So basically 3 times a year, you'll get this one-on-one session with Donna where she's going to talk to you about your personal your goals, your ambitions, things that you want to work on, and she's going to instruct you in that. And again, she's coming from this world of wisdom that she brings, and I think everybody just loves working with her. So the mentorship and then the one-on-one coaching, huge, powerful components of the program. I'm going to move on to the specific leadership topics. So first of all, we're going to try to cover the basics of being an executive or dealing with executives. So we're talking about how you present to executives. Executive people are very busy. They're from one flight to the next. You get 5 minutes of their time. How do you make a compelling case to them of a business idea you have? Or how do you elevate yourself as a speaker? We cover those things. We talk about brief communications. If a person's going to see a quick email on their phone while they're boarding a flight, how do you make that 125 words really count? How do you compose emails? How do you use social media to your favor? We talk about things like that. We talk about the difference between leadership and management, because there's quite frankly a huge difference. Do people follow you because they have to or because you're the manager? There's an art in inspiring people and leading them. We talk about character and business ethics, how you make black and white out of a world full of gray decisions, right? Talk about psychological safety, brave communications, teams and teamwork, financial literacy. Some really great punchlines there. I know we've got Josh Jennings on the phone with us. Josh, are you prepared to talk maybe what's been your favorite session about the FLM program so far this year?
Yeah. Hey, Bill. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So one of the sessions I really benefited from this year was the 5 stages of team development that Donna put on. I can't say enough about her in general. I mean, any of you guys who get the pleasure of meeting with her, you're going to want to meet with her more. Naturally, she's just an awesome one-on-one individual, but even when coaching teams, she does a phenomenal job. And those 5 stages of team development that she covered, it was forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. And, that can go a long way, but not only has that been something I'm able to apply to the guys that now roll up to me, but it's also something I can apply to myself when working on projects. So yeah, that was definitely one of the most impactful ones, and I would say I've benefited the most from, because it's taught me how to step back and really look at a team dynamic and what direction we need to go when we run into bumps in the road, and then how to continue to be successful through those bumps in the road and use those bumps as stepping stones moving forward.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's excellent. She really does do a good job of confronting the challenges you're going to have in your career, and just how you overcome those challenges, right? And
yes,
I love that she emphasizes humility and just being, an authentic person, and that's really good stuff.
Yeah, she's definitely she's awesome at helping you realize where empathy can really work to your benefit. I come from a military background, so it's been cool to step from that leadership skill set to, moving into a leadership training that has taught me. I've been able to use those two together, but with her skill set and her teaching, she kind of definitely opens up your eyes to how to just work best with people and how to perform best.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's just a huge cheerleader for you too. You just can't help but smile and just feel better about yourself when you're working with her. So.
100%. And she's, like I said, I mean, once you meet with her, I mean, everybody on this call who's met with her can probably attest to it, but you're going to want to meet with her again, because she's like a business therapist in a lot of ways for everybody.
Well said.
And she's just awesome. She's got a great attitude and a great sense of humor that helps you get through the day and makes you realize that, we're all here just trying to be better and trying to make our companies better. So.
Yep. Yes. Next component I wanted to focus on, spend time on, is the University of Innovative Distribution. So it just fascinates me how many people in our industry have never even heard of it before. And to be frank, I hadn't heard about it before I got involved with the FPDA. It is a hidden gem. It is an incredible value. And I'm doing everything I can to let people know about it. So as a participant in the program, you will attend the University of Innovative Distribution. I'm just going to call it UID from now on. You're talking about college professors and experts from around the country. They all come and descend on Indianapolis at the JW Marriott for those couple of days. And you'll see people from all sorts of distribution companies. So it's not just fluid power. It's people in floral distribution. It's people in electrical distribution, plumbing components distribution, lumber. Anybody who warehouses product and ships it, they're at this meeting and they're learning about sales. There's a sales track, there's an HR track, accounting, operations, and specifically our focus is on leadership. So what we'll do is we'll give you this, you get to go through the curriculum, the entire syllabus, and pick out, I think there's 12 total sessions. We'll mandate 3 or so just to say we want the group to go through these specific leadership track sessions. But then if you're a salesman, you can go through, see some of the sales presentations on how to increase margins, how you present a convincing argument, how you present technical information. So whatever your background, you're going to be able to find courses on a track that's going to benefit you. Just exceptional. Then, of course, the industry summit. So I really love to tell people about this because I really think FPDA puts on a better conference than any other association out there. It's just a different culture. It's just fun loving. Everybody has a great time. They let their hair down, don't take themselves too seriously. There's been years where we've had bingo parties. It's better than any wedding reception I've ever been to. It's the most fun I've ever had. It's just a great time. And the people just love to see each other. So we understand that, during the day, we're going to get business done. And at night, we really have a great time. In the sessions, at the summit, you're going to have world-class presenters. I mean, we have ITR Economics presenting most years. We have great keynote opening speeches. We've had some great retired Navy generals over the years and stuff, just great stuff. But we'll talk about industry trends. We'll share best practices. We'll talk about the latest in warehouse automation. We'll talk about software and different tools that people are using. We talk about AI. What's a practical use for that? And then, of course, the networking component. But get business done. We also have a great time. And so when you're part of the program, you're going to go to 2 of these summits. Again, first one is the summit is this October. That's where you'll kick things off. You get to meet your colleagues and to start to form that relationship. And then by the end of the program next year, you'll be a very tight team. You'll be very friendly, and you probably have friends that you're going to follow for the rest of your career. In fact, we plan on it. It's always in a beautiful location. We've done Lake Tahoe, we've done Destin, we've done Snowmass. This year's in Greenville, South Carolina. It's a beautiful downtown location. It's just everything is right within walking distance of the hotel. We think everybody's going to have a blast. There's a great group event we're going to be having opening night, and I'm going to talk about that because there's a capstone project when you're an FLM participant. So you're going to have all these learning sessions. You're going to have the coaching, the mentoring, and kind of to wrap up the entire experience, we put you through a capstone project. In the past, that's been the group planning the opening reception event. And it's been something like an amazing race event where we take, all of the attendees, put them into teams, create a fun tournament style event where you can run around, get to know your teammates better, have some competition, and just act silly. Last year, we had an amazing race event where you can see a picture on the left there. We had some events like Minefield where you got a person blindfolded and you have to tell them how to navigate that minefield. Some great team building kind of stuff there. And then everybody just has a fun time. You can see the team that won last year with their inflatable trophy. It's just great. Actually, that's not the winning team. That's some wannabes. That's right. But just a fun time. The point is that you're going to meet a growing group of people. And what's fun about it too is FLM's been around a few years now, and it's just growing alumni. And we intended to do something with that. We're going to keep this network growing. We want to get more and more people involved. And so that's the second capstone project for this year, is to get this FLM alumni network going, so that when you make these intense relationships over this year in the program, you can keep that going afterwards. We want to help to facilitate that. So we've said a lot today. I want to try to wrap this up. Cost and dates. It's $5,600 per student, not including travel costs. So that's just the cost of the program, but you'll be responsible for paying airfare, paying for hotels and such, travel. But if your company provides a mentor for the program, you get a $500 discount. So it's $5,100 for the program. So if Force America sends a mentee into the program, it would be $5,600. But if I volunteer as a mentor, it's $5,100. And really, the program can be as big as we want it to be. It's really throttled by how many mentors we have. So we're looking to have right now we have 10 open seats. 7 of them are basically claimed at this point. So we have 3 remaining seats. If we get beyond that, we're going to have a waiting list. And if we can recruit enough mentors, we'll expand that group to maybe 12, 13, 14. But we want to keep a tight group. We want it to be, intimate enough where you know everybody and you get close. Registration's open now, so sign up as soon as you can. You can go to the website, fpda.org. And under the education tab, if you pull that down, there'll be Future Leaders in Motion. You can just click on that and everything you need will be there. We do need mentors. So if you're on the call and you're a former participant, or maybe you're a manager in an associate or organization thinking about sending a mentee, consider being a mentor. We need more mentors. And I just want to reiterate, this is a steal. You're not going to find a leadership development program at this kind of pricing. It includes basically the 2 summits, which is close to $2,000 total. UID is like $1,100. So you basically are break even for the program if you were to do this all by yourself. Plus you get all the leadership development courses and stuff. So it's a real great investment. If you want more information, here's some contact information. So you can go info@fpda.org. Just send an email there and we'll answer it. If you're interested in sponsoring an FLM class or getting more involved, you can contact our executive manager, Lori Mason, and that's lmason@fpda.org. You can feel free to reach out to me if you have my contact information. Do so. You can call me anytime, 952-334-6043. I'd be happy to answer your calls. Chris Houston, I'm going to pull you off the bench. Is there anything I missed or anything you'd like to elaborate on?
Yeah, I mean, I was interested. I know this may not work or not, but I just want to see. I mean, Paul Mallory and Mike Carney have both completed the program and now are back in their roles. And I just wanted to see if either one of you would be interested to just do a quick shout out of how has this been a good program for you as you've gotten back into the grind of your role. Can either one of you share anything?
Is Paul still on here?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah,
you are.
I am. Yeah, I guess. For me, I when I started this course, I had been already in management for 15 years, and so I was kind of the old guy in the group, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to get out of it. But there was a lot of things that I still, have to sit and think about. One of them, for sure, that had a big impact on me was a discussion on character and ethics and what kind of leader do you want to be, and then kind of what are you doing to make sure that you are that leader. And it made me sort of reflect a lot, and so I still do that. Like I sit and think about what are the things that I'm doing, and how does that reflect on me as my character as a leader. So I got a lot out of it from that. UID I thought was going back to that was one of the funnest things, I guess, that we did. I thought the speakers it had there were really dynamic speakers, and they had really, I think, relevant courses that they had. They weren't just stale old courses that they repeat every year. I think we did cover AI and supply chain optimization, which are over the last few years have been 2 huge, things in our industry. So that was really valuable. And one of the best things about the UID, I thought, was with the group that you're with, it really strengthens your relationship when you're there for a week with them, and you go through classes, and then you get to sit and talk about that class, and then talk about what they do and how that applies to their job. And then you get to know them a little bit better. And I just felt that really strengthened our bond by being there for a week. So great course. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Mike. Paul, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll just say, one thing I really enjoyed too was just the, learning how others do things. I think a lot of us end up staying with companies we're with for a while. And, you're meeting these mentors, these people at other companies, the other FLM cohort individuals, and you learn, you have conversations, and you learn about how they do things. And then, you're also the entire year, 13 months, you're building up this leadership toolbox that you can, it might not be applicable when you cover the information in the class, but at some point, you're going to reflect back upon something you learned and use it. So it was a good experience, and it was good. I'm glad I went through the program. So a lot of work, but it was well worth it.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I was in the first class a couple of years ago. So I was sent by my company, and now we've sent Josh, we've sent Paul, and Jackie's going to be joining next year's class. We wouldn't send people to this unless we believed in it. If your company is not interested in growing your long-term leaders for the future, I would just say avoid the program. But if you're interested at all of being relevant 5, 10, 15 years from now as a company, then I would encourage you to make use of this program. I can tell you from my perspective, I am a better leader because I was a part of the program. And I'm even more of a better leader because I've been able to be walking beside these last few classes. It truly is a joy to see people come in that first weekend. They have no idea what they're getting themselves into. And by the end of the program, you're developing great friends who are actually significantly grown in the program and are going to be better impacting their places of business. So whether you're on the call and you might be sending somebody from your organization, feel free to reach out to Bill or I. We'd love to be able to discuss anything with you. If you're interested in mentoring, even if your company's not sending somebody, let us know. We are always looking for those who are interested in really sowing into that next generation of leaders. We need that to pass along the torch of what we've learned so they can be better. And if you're interested in being in the FLM class for this next time, I would say act quickly because the class is filling up really quickly. But other than that, Bill, you did a fantastic job. So,
Thank you so much. So with that, I'd like to take some time and answer questions. Really, this is about making sure you guys are comfortable with the information. What can we do to help you make this decision or to answer your questions about it? Feel free to take yourself off mute and just take the floor if you'd like.
You must have done a perfect job, Bill. Not a question.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is make sure that we are available to answer questions after the recording is over. You can connect with FPDA on social media. We are on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're actually really active on LinkedIn, so you should follow us. You can check us out on X, FPDA in Motion, or YouTube. As we stated, feel free to follow up. I'm just going to go back to the email contact so you can reach out. Write that down if you haven't already. I'm going to stop sharing. And one more opportunity here to ask any questions you might have. Okay, well, I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days. If you're watching this on demand, watching the recording, thanks for taking the time to watch. Again, the class is filling up. We think it's a real value. It's proven by the fact that the class fills up very quickly every year. Don't miss the opportunity to send some of your best people to get the leadership training that they deserve. So thank you again for the time. I really appreciate it. Kathy, any last minute words?
I cannot think of anything. No, you can also reach out to me if you'd like. I can give you and I will, just my email address is P like Paul, ILLARD @Etherio, that's ETHERIO.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chris.
thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.